Hi guys, I'm Greg Rutke at Rutke Mods, and once again welcome to another unboxing video. I can't sleep. It's about 2:20, 2:30 in the morning, something like that. I just recently found out that my great uncle passed away a few hours ago, so I want to get my mind off of it. I got this package in the mail yesterday, and I want to open it up for you guys. I know you're probably getting sick and tired of these unboxing videos, but I want to see if it survived in one piece. This is my 109th Mac, and I still don't know if that tallies exactly right from that one video, but my 108th would have been the G5 I just unboxed, I think. So this would be my 109th. This behind me is my second eMac G4 system. This is another ATI Graphics 1 gigahertz, just like the one Jay Vry has. And I found out after I bought the second one that these aren't natively supported with OS 9, even though all the hardware is in the 800 megahertz that had the same exact hardware in it other than the slower CPU. Natively supported it, where this one, the ROM's different or something in it, and it doesn't natively support it. So this is going to be a future video where I run 9 on it. I'm going to run OS 9 on it. And yeah, well, let's keep my mind off of what's going on right now. And maybe after I unbox this, I can actually sleep. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I don't want it to be a bummer or anything. It's going to be a fun time, so let's get unboxing. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this box. It is an interesting box for sure. It's pretty heavy. And it's made out of multiple boxes. It actually might be an HP desktop box. Hopefully it survived FedEx shipping this time. So let's unbox it and see if it survived. You know, I believe this thing probably survived. It's a lot of good packing in here. That is roughly the shape of an eMac. I'm going to roll it out of the box real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this system came with the swivel stand base, which is right here, and the system itself. So let's look at the swivel stand first. I actually don't know if I can film grabbing that. Let's see here. Actually, they're apart pretty easily. These are the screws for, I think, the memory bay. It's hard to do this with one hand. This is why it is nice to have a tripod. Oh my God. I just want the bag. Give me the bag. There we go. There is the screws. Set that there. It's actually, yeah, it's a swivel stand, which will not come out. Oops. I'll be right back. Okay, so after almost flinging this thing like a frisbee because it was getting me that mad, we got it right here. This is the base to the swivel stand. And this is the screw that I guess goes into that to put this top part on. So let's now try to unbox this, which has even more tape on it. This is supposed to be relaxing me, and it's not so far. Oh. How about I unbag this off camera before I throw this too? Well, almost throw it anyway. Alright, here is the complete swivel stand. Those screws apparently mount the base of the eMac to the mount itself. This goes right under here in this hole, and then this sits right on top of it and goes, screws into that, and then it can do this. It's pretty cool, and it's really fancy looking. Designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. It's all milled aluminum, it looks like. Pretty nice. I don't think my other eMac, which I still haven't seen in person, has a swivel base, so this is pretty nice. And it's reminiscent of the G3 AIO with its tilt base. Only this is actually a swivel. I think that's just tilt. So, yeah, this is pretty neat. This is like, it gives full well, not full 360, but it gives a very good, maybe like 180 range here. It's pretty cool. So that is the swivel base. Pretty neat. So now let's unbox the eMac. Set this off to the side. Don't forget the screw. Alright, here's the eMac. I've only seen one of these in person. It was Michael Stanhope's eMac, but I had never actually really got close to it. I just looked at it. I've always heard these things were giant and really heavy. And other than the fact it's a little awkward to hold, it's not that bad. It does remind me a lot of an iMac G3 in size. I always thought it was bigger than an iMac G3. I don't think it really is. I'd have to compare it to an iMac G3 to actually know. I'll be right back. Yeah, so far this unboxing is not relaxing. But here it is. Let's reveal it for the first time here. This was, appears to be a school computer. Apple did, after some feedback from customers, they did eventually sell these as not just education systems, but as general market systems. Here's my eMac G4 here. Let me get this bag off of it before I end up getting ticked and tossing this in the air. I'll be right back. Okay, for years I've considered this one of the ugliest Macs ever made, but now looking at it in person and finally having one. Let's see, what's this thing? It was originally a 1 gigahertz with 256 megs of RAM and an 80 gig hard drive. And this is a reconditioned model. Now finally having one of these, it's got its own charm. It's kind of pretty. I don't know if it's pretty as in pretty ugly, but it kind of looks like an egg laying on its side. It's a unique, interesting Mac here, and it does need a lot of cleaning. but it's supposed to be fully functional. Got a headphone jack, audio in, 3 USB 1.1s, I believe, Firewire 400s, 2 of those, dial-up modem, let's see here, it's probably 10100 Ethernet, and VGA, mini VGA out with the power button and the power plug jetting out the side of it. It's an interesting place to put it. I never realized they were actually in the side of them. And then on the bottom, you can see where the swivel stand would mount. And underneath this door right here would be where the RAM would go. So, if this really is the one it's supposed to be, this thing will run OS 9, just not officially. We're going to run OS 9 on it, but I guess this would have been, it's the case feels newer, but then again it's also refurbished, so maybe they updated the case. It just doesn't seem quite right, but it's still going to be fun. Let's plug it in, let's test it out, and then I might finally be able to sleep. So, yeah. Okay, so I got my 2.5 hex out here. We're going to put the swivel stand on real quick. And it seems to be pretty easy to mount up. Just line up the holes. It drops right into place. Look at that. It's not moving already. And it's a really neat design Apple had there. You know it's in place. So, I've got the screws right here in my hand. Drop them in. I'm doing this with my less dominant hand. I'm semi-ambidextrous, but I'm still not super great with my left hand when it comes to doing certain things. Wow, it's either a really long screw or it's not actually going in. I can't tell which now. I actually almost had that screw in. It was just, it took a long time to get the thread in, apparently. I swear, there must be a plate missing here. I'm not really sure on that. But I feel like there should be something right here. But anyway, getting back to the point. Let's get the rest of the base on. Grab the swivel stand. This goes upside down on it. The bag's glued to it. Come off of it. Okay, yeah, I'm still not calm. Anyway, looking at the back, I can't tell if that looks clean or not inside. But anyway, that's the exhaust fan. Let's put the base on. This thing has a kind of a skid plastic ring on it that likes to fall off. But once it's on there, it shouldn't be a problem. So here's that. Then we take the big giant screw and we work it on. And I think that's good. So now we can flip it over and plug the system in and test it. Now this is cool. Watch this. It almost tilts almost like an iMac G4, honestly, on this stand. It's pretty neat. It's like a really, really heavy iMac G4 now. And that's basically what this thing is. This is an iMac G4 with a CRT on it, but it really feels like one with this swivel stand. This is really cool. And it has a lot of tilt to it. This is really neat. I like this stand. These things are really boring without this stand, honestly. This is like a must-have. You must have the eMac stand because this is so cool, and it looks like that, you know. And you know, I always thought this thing was the same size of that. This thing dwarfs that in size comparison, although the CRT is bigger on this. So yeah, it's a big boy. It's kind of small compared to it, honestly. Even from a distance, you can tell that one's bigger than that one. So yeah. All right, so I think I'm going to just use the G3 AIO's power cable right here to plug it in, because this is the first one I see on hand. And we'll use this keyboard, which happens to be the first one I see on hand. And I've got to find a mouse. And we'll test it and see if it works. Okay, so here's my weird combination of the first generation Pro keyboard and my EVGA Torque X10 Carbon. My gaming mouse for my gaming PC, which is currently broken, sitting behind the system. It's the only thing I could find right offhand. So hopefully it works with Mac OS. Spoiler alert, I already know it does. But I don't know if this actually has Mac OS on it. I don't know if anything's on it, honestly. So we're going to find out. So first off, I apologize that the refresh rate will probably not match up. But I hear this is the greatest CRT to ever be in a Mac. There, of course, were external CRTs, which might have been just as good, if not better. But in a Mac, this is the greatest CRT. It's supposed to be, I think, a Sony Trinitron. It's supposed to be sharp. It's supposed to be the greatest thing on earth in appearance. And it's also got the greatest Mac speakers ever made, from what I hear. I've never heard them run before, so it's going to be an experience too. So let's actually power on. This here power button is right here. Well, the speakers do sound pretty good. Nope. First indications tell me that there isn't anything on it. Let's verify that idea here. Turn it off. Turn it off. It's not turning off. There it goes. Okay, it's a delayed effect there. Okay, let's see if the boot menu works. If not, we'll use one of my boot SSDs. So, power. 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 Uh-oh. There it goes. The plug doesn't like to hold in, apparently. That gets your heart racing there. Let's go into the boot menu. And it looks like we have no drives. Let it sit for a second. If I see nothing, I'll go get the boot SSD. I'd say the hard drive's still in it, but it might be wiped. Although I don't hear it, so it might not be in it. I don't remember if the guy said it came with one or not. So we're going to find out after I get my boot SSD, apparently, because there is no operating system on here. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my second boot SSD. This is going to be the follow-up video SSD when I get around to actually making that. This one just has Tiger boot plus the Tiger installer and Leopard installer in it. This is for systems that just don't want to see all those partitions. So let's plug it in here. We'll set it like right here. and it's not doing anything. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, this mouse doesn't work in boot menus. So, let's just restart it and see if it will see the system when we go into the boot menu. Yeah, I don't know if I can get this thing to shut off again. Let's just play with the power cable. Off. Like that. Then power. 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 You know, I'm wondering if this thing has cat problems. I'll be right back. Okay, so the trick is you apparently have to really hold in the power button here. Maybe. I just heard it tick on earlier. There it goes. Alright, now let's go back into the boot menu. There we go. So the boot SSD is ready. Let's let the open firmware catch up here, and we'll continue on. And enter. Yeah, it looks like it might have the original drive in it. Close these out. Initialize. Let's see. Yeah, they nuked the original 80 gig hard drive, and they nuked it quite well because it's not actually verifying itself now. Let's just wipe it. Actually, I'm not going to wipe it because since I want to try to boot this system into OS 9 in the future, I need to actually format this whole hard drive with a supported Mac through target disk mode so I can put in the OS 9 drivers. Otherwise, this won't work right. So I'm just not going to touch it for now. We'll target disk mode this thing and set it up in a video in the future probably. But for now, let's see the specs of this thing. And the refresh rate's not too bad. Yes, it is blinking a little bit for you guys, but let's see here. Displays. Oh, that's really bad. Hey, that's a matched hertz there. It's just really, really huge. That matches too. That doesn't. Sorry, I'm just experimenting with this a little bit, guys. I hope I'm not giving you a seizure. Let's use 800 by 600 by now because you can actually see the screen and how sharp it is. It is really, really sharp. So, about this Mac, it's got 1 gig of RAM in it. This can go up to 2. More info. This is a 4,4. This isn't what I bought. Or is it? 7,500, 4,4. It might be. Let me look up really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, this is what I bought. This is the OS 9 capable but not compatible officially model. The ATI Graphics. I mean, it's kind of a giveaway because it's got Radeon 7500 in it. But I wasn't really sure because there's two 1 gigahertz models. Technically 3, because there was a continuation of this exact model, which this might be that model. After they stopped making the ATI Graphics one, they made one identical to it, I think. And then they made the NVIDIA Graphics version of the 1 gigahertz, I believe. The eMac had a lot of different models, but the ATI Graphics was the last OS 9 capable sorry, getting a little tongue-tied here. Last all-in-one OS 9 compatible system. And yeah, I've got it right here in front of me. Actually, it was the 800 4,4 that was officially supported, but the 1 gigahertz literally has all the same hardware in it, I believe. Let's actually go down to airport. I'm curious. Yeah, this is the wireless B card in it, I think. No, this has the okay, this has the G card in it. So that's not OS 9 compatible. There are some hardware differences, I think. That's interesting. But that might also explain why it's not officially supported, because Apple didn't want hardware to not support certain things in OS 9, and that would definitely be one of the reasons. So that might be the difference between the two. I'm not sure. I'll have an 800 to compare it to. So we're going to run OS 9 on this, and it's going to enjoy running OS 9, I'm sure. And it won't be any issues. And this should have been a dead giveaway that this had the wireless G card in it, because it's connected to my network, and this won't connect to my network if it has the B card. So yeah, let's see here. The memory right now has got two 512 modules in it. We'll stick 2 1 gigabyte modules in it eventually. And it all seems to be working fine. Let's move the boot drive out the optical driveway. Let's see if it ejects. That ejects totally fine. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to play around with this system, get it to run, and enjoy it. And yeah, wrap up the video as we speak here. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Side note, don't worry about me. I'll be all right. My great uncle lived to be 97 and a half. You know, he was a heck of a man, part of the greatest generation, very, very last known survivor of the Bonus Army March. You might have to look that one up. Just Wikipedia it. It's a very interesting thing, but he was the last known survivor of that that at least remembers it. And he, World War II vet, Korea vet. He was a great man, and he'll be sorely missed, but he had a good long life. I'll be all right. So yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of today's video. Sorry that got a little sad at the end, but you know, it's going to be a rough few days for me. Few weeks, maybe a month. He was one heck of a man. Anyway, getting back to the point. Don't forget, guys, I am now sponsored by CityMac.com, so if you have an Apple device you'd like to sell, just go to CityMac.com/RutKMods and sell them something. It will help me out, and it will help you out because you'll be making money. Also, don't forget, I do now have a Patreon where I release these videos a day early, sometimes even earlier than that. In fact, I have one video on there right now that still, as of recording this right now, won't be released until 5 p.m. today. This is Thursday, the 13th. So, yeah, of February. So, yeah, that video's been up since, I think, Monday. So that gives you an idea that sometimes these videos come out days and days before the official release. So if you want to see those very early, just hop on there and check it out and help support me. You don't have to. The channel continues to be free. As long as you're watching my ads, watching my videos, it helps me out. And yeah, anyway. So that's the end of today's video, and thank you guys for watching. this has been a Rutke Mods video. By the way, I forgot to mention, if you see this blinking light, it's actually solid. It's the refresh rate of the camera. Just ignore that. It's a solid white light. Just thought I'd let you guys know that. Okay guys, one more bit of bonus material. I did get OS 9 to run on this because I still can't sleep. So this is pretty neat. I had to use a supported Mac. This is my Titanium 500. And I target disk moded it. And then I installed it with that. Put it over onto here. And then I had to use the iMac ROM. Which is from OS 9 Lives. iMac made it. I don't think he's actually part of OS 9 Lives, but he found the ROM and made it work with other Macs. And this thing is now 100% compatible other than for the Wi-Fi card. Basically what you have to do is install OS 9, and then with your your system that you installed it with, you just drop the ROM file right into the system directory, and then it works. I also remembered that the eMac power button is testy on these things. You have to press it just right to get it to start. So let's start it, if I can find the button. I'm not pressing it just right. There it goes. You can get it to start every single time if you press it just right. So we'll go into the boot menu. And with the original ROM on this, it would not work. Now, with the proper ROM, it works. And it will show up. So once this finishes going, we can just boot straight into it. Or now that you know that it's in the menu, let's hit the power button again. Start it back up, and it would just auto boot into OS 9. And it's 100% functional. So I will be doing a video when I set this up properly in the future. Probably showing you how I did it as quickly as possible. Probably be pretty time-lapsed. And then we'll go into more details about it and stuff. But here we are in OS 9, and it's working. Let's see here. Can't control it because my gaming mouse is going too fast. Let's get this to a non-blinky resolution here. 800 by 600. And the refresh rate's still not right. There we go. That got it. It detects it's an eMac and everything. Like I said, this is the same hardware as the 800, and it's working totally fine. Even the sound works. It's odd that the refresh rate changes and then resyncs itself. It's really weird on this camera. It's not how it actually really is. This is solid. Try 1024. Well, it's okay. But yeah, it's working. Do 680 by 480. And yeah, it works. 640 by 480. Yeah, this is nice. It works great. System profiler. Ta-da! No problem whatsoever. So I thought you guys might like to see that bonus material. I'm tired now. I am actually going to bed now. So I guess good night, guys. One more interesting tidbit of information, guys. The 800 megahertz also had the Airport Extreme card, which would make this, I think, make that the only Mac to have unsupported hardware in an operating system But then again, Apple allowed OS 9 on these systems in 2003 because a lot of schools were still using OS 9, and yeah, they still were using classic applications, so it made sense to also have OS 9 support. Also, there was a 1 gigahertz model that was OS 9 compatible, and that was the combo drive model. This is the super drive model. The super drive model is the one that isn't supported, and as we can see, it's all the same hardware, and the only literal difference is the optical drive and the ROM support. Don't know why Apple did that, because there was a lot of OS 9 systems that had super drives in them, so why not just add it to the super drive model too? Something interesting. But anyway, I thought you guys would find that interesting. See you guys later. Bye.